Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Hello? Are we back? Hello? Oh, I think we're back. Are we back? Hello? We're so back. We're so done. We're so back. We're so back. Hell yeah. Okay. We're good. Oh my god. I'm sorry. What happened? What happened? No, okay. That's kind of odd. Huh? Okay. Whatever. My computer crashed. OBS crashed. What happened? OBS crashed. OBS decided to just die. I don't know what happened. my computer decided to just shut down OBS. Anyways, what was I talking about? Does anyone remember what I was just talking about? After I meow, Ghost died. I feel so powerful. Listen. Listen. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was the meow. Who knows? Oh, my red flags, yes. We'll go through that after I finish ranking everything. We'll talk about my red flags afterwards. Meow. You want like a realistic meow or like meow? Meow. I can do that. Meow. Yeah. Meow. Meow. Sorry. Meow. Meow. I don't know. I'm meow. Okay, we're gonna stop meowing. We're gonna stop meowing. Because then it's just meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow. Yeah. Okay. Inconsistent communication. Depends. I think it is bad, but it's manageable. Like, this would bother me if I was messaging someone because look, if they wanted to, they would. It's true. If they wanted to, they would. Oh my god, I'm upside down. Holy moly. Whoa. I did a cartwheel. Let's go. I'm constantly singing that song. It is catchy. I will say, it depends. Because if somebody's like, if somebody only messages you when they are bored, that's not good. That means that you're a side piece. I'm sorry. I'm just letting you guys know, if somebody messages you and you can tell they only message you when they are bored and they have nothing else to do, that's a red flag. That means they don't like you. I wonder what the duo flip would do if you troll people with just a mirrored. Yeah, I just mirror myself, that's it. Can I do that? One sec. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do that? Wait. Can I? Oh, somebody activated the become a hairdresser. Oh, that just gave me longer hair in the back. Do a flip. Watch. Wait. Let's see here. I can do this. Whee! Whee! I'm on a conveyor belt, guys. I'm a conveyor belt. I'm kidding. Oh, let's see here. Can I flip myself? Yeah, Sushikyo. Move action. Action. No, I can't do that. Can I flip myself? I don't think I can. No, I'd have to go into like the swords itself and flip myself. Nah. We'll get to my red flags after this. It's going to take a while though. Holy moly. We'll try to get past it. Okay, I'm gonna stop yapping. I'm gonna stop yapping. And we're gonna try to get through this faster / like as fast as I can. I will briefly explain everything though, and I will give advice. Dismissive of your feelings or opinions, instant deal breaker. If you are with somebody who doesn't, well, I'm just saying you as a general you, but also for like me or for like anybody else watching. If you are with somebody who's dismissive of your feelings, that is a red flag. That means they don't like you. Why are you with this person? Why are you with somebody who doesn't like you? If they are dismissive, if somebody who you are with as a friend or a relationship, if you are like, hey, I really, really like League of Legends, and they are like, I hate League of Legends with a passion. I hate it. I hate players who play League of Legends. I hate every single thing about League of Legends. And you're like, but I like it. And they're like, I don't care. I hate it. And then they put you down because you enjoy something. That's not nice. That's not good. Leave them. That's a red flag. Don't do that. Where did I get this list? Tiermaker.com. Here. Let me post the link in chat for both YouTube and Twitch. This is the link. This is what I'm doing. I posted the link. Controlling deal breaker. I don't be with somebody who's controlling. If they're constantly telling you, don't do that, don't do this, that's not good. And even if it's like very little, like gaslighting, like, why would you do that? Stuff like that, that's also red flag. That's a major red flag. No. Unwilling to address or resolve conflict, also deal breaker. No. If you can't move past and you're constantly having arguments with somebody and you're unwilling to fix it and they keep doing it, that's also a red flag, because that just means you're immature. If you bring up something with somebody and you're like, hey, I've noticed that you do this. I've noticed that you do this issue and I have a problem with it and I really don't want you to do it. And they respond by either saying, oh man, but you're so sensitive, blah, 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 and they make excuses. That's not nice. Or they'll do it as you say, right? They'll do it as you say, but they do it in a malicious compliance way that you can tell that they're doing it badly on purpose. They call that perceived incompetence. They do it badly so that you get frustrated and you do it for them, because they know that if they do it badly enough, you're gonna get frustrated and stop doing it. Well, you're gonna start doing it instead because you're like, oh, I can't give this to this person because they're not gonna do it properly. Perceived incompetence. That's something like that. No. Passive aggressive. Also instant deal breaker. If they're passive aggressive, because that means they're also emotionally immature and they're unwilling to communicate their feelings. Lack of accountability, also deal breaker. If you make a mistake and you are unable to take knowledge of that and be able to acknowledge that they were wrong, even for something super simple, like if they're unable to say sorry for something like hurting your feelings, that later down the line, that's going to escalate and it's going to turn into like a very big issue where Something as tiny as like, they forgot my birthday and they never apologized for it and they were just like, oh, Emma. Constantly negative, also bad. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Who knows? Lack of emotional availability. This is my red flag. I'm just saying. Lack of emotional availability. This is my red flag. Yeah, bad but manageable. Oh no, emotional availability is like they just are not interested. That's me. Not interested, not there. If you're actively trying to be, well, real talk. If you're trying to be with somebody in a relationship and they are emotionally unavailable, then you should not try to be in a relationship with them because they have made it clear that they don't want to be in a relationship. And I am emotionally unavailable because that is just not what I'm interested in right now. I have other priorities in life. Excessive jealousy. Instant deal breaker. I don't like jealous people. If you don't trust somebody, if you don't like somebody enough that you completely trust them, then I think that's a you problem. I think that's a skill issue. Constantly negative. Bad but manageable. Bad but manageable. I mean, jealousy is not trust issue. For me, it is. If I cannot be with somebody and they're constantly questioning, like, are they messaging other people? That means they don't trust you. Jealousy is inherently a trust issue. If they're like, oh my gosh, but what if they're cheating on me? If you're constantly thinking that all the time, that means they don't trust you. That means they don't trust you. I'm sorry, but they don't trust you. You are allowed to feel jealous. You're allowed to. You're allowed to feel things. You're allowed to feel your own emotions. But excessive jealousy, when you're constantly paranoid about whether your partner or your friend is cheating on you with another person, that's a little insane. Jealousy doesn't make you think your partner's cheating on you. You're allowed to feel jealous. You're allowed to be like, oh man, they're hanging out with somebody other than me and I wish I was spending time with them. You're allowed to feel jealous. That's fine. Excessive jealousy to the point of being like, oh my god, they're cheating on me. They're cheating on me. That's excessive jealousy. That's paranoia. That's paranoia and jealousy. It stems from jealousy too. But also excessive jealousy in the point of like, somebody has a better job than you and they are insecure about that. They don't make enough money. They don't make as much money as you. And you can tell that they're jealous of you because you can be like, oh, I spent $40 on a video game last week. And then they make comments, passive-aggressive comments right here, passive-aggressive comments saying like, well, isn't that nice that somebody has a job that pays them a lot, that they can afford $40 on a video game? That's also excessive jealousy. Then it turns into passive-aggressive. A lot of these are very, very much go hand in hand. The cheating part of me ain't part of jealousy. That's just straight up trust issues and paranoia. It stems from a lot of like jealousy and paranoia too. Like I think a lot of these do go in hand. They kind of influence each other. Disregards boundaries, red flag. Very much red flag. No. If you tell somebody not to do something and they do it anyway because it's a joke and they play it off as one, they don't like you. I'm sorry, they don't like you. You should have reevaluate why you're with that person. They don't like you. Sad I'm in the bad zone. That's not bad. Doesn't have the same music taste whatsoever. That doesn't care. That could be good. That could be good. That's not a bad thing. It means that you have different taste. And that means that they can introduce you to somebody that you don't know. Like, let's say they listen to techno and you've never heard that genre before. They could introduce you to something and now you have a new interest. That's not bad. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I listen to everything. Music taste doesn't matter to me. One-uppers. Deal breaker. I'm sorry, deal breaker. If you are constantly having to get the last word in and being like, yeah, but no. Stop that. Excessively compliments could be good. If you're doing it to the purpose of being love bombing, like to the point of being like, you're so amazing, you're so beautiful, you're the best person ever in the whole entire world, and I cannot stand to be away from you, and you're just so amazing, and I want to be around you all the time, and I want to take you out, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. Excessive to the point of like borderline stalkerish, that might be deal breaker. But if it's just excessively compliment, as in they're just a very it's complicated. There is a difference between somebody. This could be application. No. When I get to my red flag list, nobody would want to be my partner. I'm bad. No, I'm bad. Excessive compliments is fine. If you're just a very wordy person, like your love language is words of affection, that's fine. But if you're somebody who does it to the purpose of wanting to get something out of another person, that might be a little bit toxic. If you're saying things just for the sake of being like, if I compliment this person, they're gonna like me more, versus they just want to compliment you, there is a very big difference between these two. So I would say excessively compliments, it depends. It's not the worst thing, it depends on the situation, it could be good. I would say it's okay. Never compliments, that also could be good. Sorry. Depends on the situation. Are they tsundere? Do they find it hard with words? Are they a person who shows... If somebody never compliments you, but they show that they like you through their actions, like, let's say they never compliment you. You're like, hey, how do I look? Do I look good? And then they're like, I don't know. But they show you in actions. They say like, they bought you flowers. They show it through their actions. They're like, hey, I was thinking of you. I was thinking of you when I got you this. Or we should go out to do this thing together. I bought us tickets. That's fine. I don't care about words of affection. That's not an issue for me. It depends on the situation. Because some people aren't the most affectionate with their words. That's something that I also have. Like I am like that. I never compliment people. Like I am very superficial with my compliments. I'm bad with compliments. I'll be like, hey, you know, it took me 5 years to admit to my friends that they were my best friends. I took so long to tell them that they were my friends. I'm asleep, enjoy your stream, this is good. You should start doing debate. Fun fact, I was in debate. I did Toastmasters, I've been in debate. I went to debate camp and club. Yes, I am a debater. I've been in debates. Depends on the thing. Only compliments physical attributes, that could be bad, but manageable. Debate us next time? Sure. We'll do a stream where I'll bring out random topics. I'll spin a wheel, and then you get a debate with me on just the most mundane topic ever. We'll talk about chairs, okay? It'll be the like wheel. It'll be like spin wheel, chairs, food. And then we get a debate for like 5 minutes about something, okay? We'll do that. We'll try, okay? We'll do that one day. Just remind me or something. If they only contribute physical attributes, that just comes off as a fuckboy. I'm sorry. If you're only like, hey, I love your butt, I love the way you look in that dress, I love your eyes, I love your hair, blah, blah, blah. They're only physical attributes. This makes me think that they only want them as, like, they're trying to get in your pants. They're trying to get in your pants. They don't like you. As a person, they only want to get in your pants. That's not good. That's bad. I want to say that's a deal breaker. I mean, it's manageable, but I would say it's a deal breaker for me. Constantly late. Good. Neutral doesn't matter. I'm late all the time. That's my red flag too. That's my red flag. I'm also late. It doesn't matter to me. If we're both late, Last minute cancels, depends on the situation. If it can't be helped, like let's say they have a job that requires them to be called in last minute, that's fine. If they're doing it because they couldn't get out of bed in the morning, that might be an issue that they need help with. And that's not your issue. That's just their issue. And then they need help. They need to fix that about themselves. You cannot fix a person. Rude to service or retail staff, instant deal breaker. If you are rude to service staff, they're just doing their job. Absolutely not. No. Does not have a single close friend. Bad but manageable. If they don't have a singular friend, they could have moved around a lot. It depends. It's not the worst. Well, it depends on the situation. It's bad but manageable. If they're close to their family but they don't have a single friend, that's kind of concerning. If they move around a lot and they have no friends in their current area, that's okay too. If they have no friends whatsoever at all, that's a little concerning too. But I would rather somebody who has no friends and maybe a couple of like not really close friends, but a lot of like couple superficial friends, than somebody who has a bunch of friends, but all of their friends are toxic. I would rather have somebody who doesn't have a lot of close friends versus somebody who has a bunch of friends, but all their friends are toxic. Brags about how good of a liar they are. Deal breaker, that's kind of odd. Why would you brag about that? Goes to the gym every day. That could be good. That could be. If you are to the person of like excessively going to the gym, like I need to get my gains. I drink protein every day. I need to hit my calorie requirement. I need to like, they're always focused about like muscle gain and whatever. And they take bathroom selfies in the mirror at the gym. Red flag. I'm sorry. It depends on the situation. If they're like gym bro, not my thing. Bad but manageable. But if you're the type of person to be like, I want to be healthy, I want to take care of myself, sure, could be good. You take care of yourself. That's good. Never goes to the gym. Also, not the worst thing. Depends on the situation. Maybe they have an illness. Maybe they have a physical disability that you don't know about. It doesn't matter. Has a mental disorder. Bad but manageable. If they're getting help for it, that's fine. If they have a mental disorder and they don't believe they have a mental disorder, but you can clearly tell they have a mental disorder, and they're not getting help for it even though you've told them, and they're not willing to do anything about it, deal breaker. But bad but manageable. Neurodivergent. Could be good. I like that. I'm neurodivergent. I think I am. Well, I'm borderline neurodivergent. I've never been tested, but it could be a good thing. I get along with people who are neurodivergent more often than I do with neurotypical people, because neurodivergent people will tell you exactly what they want. They are very literal. I like that about them. Neurotypical. Could be good. Doesn't matter. They get things done. Doesn't matter. Makes plans for the future without consulting your preferences. I would say not the worst thing, depends on the situation. If they do something and you don't know the person and they're like, I think they'd enjoy skydiving, that's kind of bad. That's bad, but manageable. It's one thing to be like the whole, they wear gold every day, but I'm gonna get them something silver because they don't have silver. That kind of situation where, sorry, let me drink water. Let me drink water. Oh my god. I've been yapping the entire time. If they are the type of person to be like, well, they don't have gold. They wear a lot of gold, but they don't have any silver. I'm gonna get them silver. And they're like tone deaf to that. That is kind of like odd. It's also like it gives the energy of somebody who went on a first date and then the next date they bring a ring. That's what that is. It's maybe a deal breaker, I'm sorry. It depends on the situation, I want to say. Because if they're getting ahead of themselves and they are not picking up on the vibes, they're not getting the vibe check, that might be an issue for them. That might be a deal breaker, but it will lead into a deal breaker depending on how you assess that situation, depending on how it goes. Longest relationship never lasted more than a month. And it's not a bad thing. I mean, it might be a little bit concerning that they're not like, none of the relationships have lasted that long. You have to wonder like what happened to the relationships. A normal Thursday stream, define normal these days. I don't stream on Thursdays. I normally don't stream on Thursdays, so that's why it's normal. Or it's not really normal. Hello, welcome. Hi, Mirror Cup. Welcome. Hello. We're talking about relationship red flags. I don't stream on Thursdays. I normally don't. That's why it's normal. It's a regular Thursday stream. Longest relationship never lasted more than a month. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. It depends on the situation, though. This is a red flag tier list, yes. We're gonna go through all of these red flags, and I'm gonna rank them. And then afterwards, we're gonna go through my red flags. I'm gonna put my red flags anywhere. But right now, we're going through red flags that I think are bad in people, like in relationships in general, like friendship / relationship of like romantic kind. Multiple exes within the same year. Bad but manageable. It's not the worst thing. I mean, it depends. It's the same thing with this one. It depends on why they broke up. If the person was constantly getting broken up with, you have to see like why they were getting broken up with in the first place. Were they cheating? Is it something they do? Do they have a bad habit? Are they just not communicative? You have more flags than a candidate convention. These are not my red flags. These are just red flags in general. But we will be going over my red flags next, after this. Never been in a relationship. Nah. Depends on the situation. Doesn't matter. Could be good. Could be bad. Doesn't matter. I don't think it matters. If you've been in 10 relationships beforehand, or if you've never been in a relationship, it doesn't matter. Who the person was before you doesn't matter. What matters is how they act with you now. And the only thing you should care about is how their relationships ended, because you want to know if they have any issues that could come up again that you should be aware of. Like, I don't know, maybe they have like a skeleton in their closet, you don't know. That's something you should be concerned about. That's never been in a relationship, that doesn't matter. Puts a lot of labels on themselves. I don't think labels are a bad thing. It's not the worst thing. Labels aren't a bad thing. Labels just means that you want something in a more concrete definition to describe themselves, to understand yourself in a way that you want to have a better conclusion of. As in, like, I don't know what they mean by labels. It depends on how those relationships went, right? Yes, that too. If you were just, I don't know, friends with benefits, hookup flings, that doesn't matter. I don't think you can get very deep into a relationship if you've only known somebody for a week, though. So there's that too. Also, if you're with somebody and then they're constantly dating somebody on repeat because they can't get over one singular person in their past, that might be a deal breaker, because clearly they're still thinking about that person. So that's why I said depends on the situation. Constantly bringing up an ex. That's what I literally just talked about. They're not over them. Deal breaker. They're not over them. Go back to them. They're not over them. They're clearly not over them. They shouldn't be dating. They're emotionally unavailable. Lacks empathy. That's also a deal breaker. If you are sad about something and you can't train that out of a person. That's up to them to learn. That's up to them to learn. If they lack empathy and they can tell that you're sad and then they're like, let's play a video game. That's not empathy. That's called steamrolling the situation. It's important to let go, exactly. A lot of these have to do with like your own personal growth and your own idea as a person. It's about emotional maturity. A lot of these are about emotional maturity and knowing yourself. If you aren't willing to grow as a person, I don't think you're ready for a relationship. What does that say? Males with only male friends / females with only female friends. That's not bad. I don't care. Neutral doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I am only friends with girls. I don't have very many guy friends. I have like one. I have maybe one guy friend, and I don't even know if they're like a close friend. They're just somebody I know. I don't have a lot of male friends. Most of my friends are girls. Males with only female friends or females with only male friends. This depends on the situation. It could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. It doesn't matter. Actually, I think it's a good thing. It could be a good thing. If you're... Yeah, it's fine. I think it's fine. If you're a guy... Okay, I think it depends on the situation, actually. If you are a girl who only has male friends and your explanation is, well, the only reason is because other girls just don't like me, and you act like a pick-me girl, and that's the reason why girls don't like you, that's a red flag. If you are friends, if you're a guy with a lot of female friends, you might be gay. You might be gay. You might need to evaluate something about yourself. I think you might be gay or bi. If you're a guy with only female friends. If you are a girl with only male friends and your only reasoning for not having female friends is because girls don't like you, that's a red flag. I'm sorry. If you're a guy with only female friends, you might be gay. You might need to look in the closet. I'm sorry. Moving on. References outdated gender roles. It's good to have both men and women as friends. They provide very interesting perspectives. It's true. It's true. References outdated gender roles. If they're like, the window looks like a Daisy place. No, come back here. Come back here. It's fine. Look, it depends on the situation. References outdated gender roles. I think that's a deal breaker. That's not for me. Maybe for some people, but not for me. If you're... My grandparents are like that. They're like, women should cook. Women should dress nicely and be modest. No, this is the 21st century. What? We don't live in the 90s anymore. Where are we? You can find their whole life on social media. That doesn't matter. I doesn't care. That doesn't matter. My whole life is as a streamer, I guess my whole life is technically on social media. I'm a streamer. Everything I talk about is like, you know, everything I talk about is on social media. This is social media. I talk about my life. It doesn't matter. If you're constantly like posting about whatever's happening in your life, sure, good for you. No drama, please. Okay, depends on the situation. If you're saying this, if you're saying no drama, but you get into drama constantly, I think that's what this means. Deal breaker. If you are the type of person to be all like, I hate drama, and then you're constantly getting into fights with people and being like, I don't know why I get into fights with some people. I hate drama. You might be the problem. You might be the problem. If you're the person who avoids conflict, like me, you would not say stuff like no drama. I have never seen a dude say that. It's mostly girls. Furry. Doesn't matter. Could be good. Could be better. Doesn't matter. I don't think being a furry is a negative. Not gonna lie, sounds zesty, yeah. People who say no drama, please, are the people who get into drama the most. They are the most toxic people. Now, furry isn't bad. Furries have a lot of money. That's a good thing. That doesn't matter. That might be a plus. Listen, furries might have a bad rep online, but you have to say they're like rockers. They're like metal people. They look scary, they look intimidating, but they are the nicest people you will ever meet. Furries, drag queens, and metalheads are the nicest people. Some of the nicest people. Depends on the person though. You know, you could be like, I don't know, a person and be toxic, but in my experience, a lot of people I've met, they've all experienced discrimination of some kind. They're more open-minded about things. They're more willing to side with. They have a lot of empathy. Most I've seen are weird, touchy people. Depends. Depends on the person, you know? It depends on the person. denying the drama they constantly get into is pretty dramatic by itself. Yeah, probably. Every single time I see somebody who's like, no drama, they're always fighting, so. People on Twitter with D&I minors in their bio. Those are the people getting into drama all the time. Cough. They're usually nice because they seek acceptance. That's true. But then again, you could have good furries, you can have bad furries, it doesn't matter. I think them solely as a furry doesn't make them a bad person. You're a bad person if you're any of these. Any of these at the top. If you're a furry on its own, that doesn't matter. That's fine. Good for you, you have a hobby. Why is having a hobby bad? You have a hobby, good for you. Am I a furry? No. I mean, I'm a bird. Maybe I'm a furry. Am I a furry? No. I'm not a furry because it's not like I wish to be a bird. I am a bird, so does that make me a furry? I'm a songbird. I'm a Tengu songbird. Does that make me a furry? I don't know. Only hobbies include a TV, video game, or computer. That's not bad. That could be good. Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Like, why is that bad? I mean, it's kind of bad. They don't touch grass. Depends on the situation. If you are somebody who doesn't touch grass on the regular and your only hobby is playing League of Legends for 7 hours a day, that might be a red flag. If your only life is 10 hours playing Valorant or League of Legends. I'm sorry, I bash on League of Legends and Valorant all the time on this channel. If you are somebody who plays 12 hours straight of League of Legends or Valorant or any other type of FPS game and you get mad about it at your teammates, if you are just toxic online for absolutely no reason of your own volition, you keep going back to this game despite saying that you hate the game, first of all, why are you playing that game if you don't like it? It's making you upset. And you are obviously taking it out on other people online. And that's your only hobby? Touch grass. But if your hobby is like playing games or being online or whatever, and you have like a decent social life, that's fine. That doesn't matter. Some people, this was a lot of people during the pandemic. A lot of people didn't go outside. That's fine. One word applies, red flag. They don't like you. They don't like you. Either that or English isn't their first language, but most of the time they don't like you. Sheesh. I've been bashed. Yes, we bash on it a lot. That happens when there's an addiction? Yes, that's a you need help. You need help. You need help. I'm done with my League of Legends. Congratulations, did you win or lose? Did you win or lose? Talk shit behind their friends' backs. Deal breaker. They're not trigative. What did I just say? They're not trigative. They are not to be trusted. If they talk negatively behind their friend's back, they were 100% talking negatively behind your back too. And if they assure you, no, I would never speak badly about you, they are talking shit behind your back. Net negative is whatever's. You'll get them next time, Tiger. Haha. I'm kidding. That's what a dad would say. Gotta go. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good night. Is the victim in every story they tell? Yes, because they are not introspective. It's like the, where is it? Right here. Lack of accountability. If you cannot take the time to evaluate, am I the problem here? Maybe the problem is me. They're victim blaming all the time. That might be a red flag, because that means they don't have accountability. They act like they're better than everybody else. Deal breaker. There's a difference between cockiness and confidence. If you're somebody who is like, I'm better than anybody else, and you're not willing to act humble, that's not confidence. That's insecurity. That's insecurity. I think quiet confidence is being humble and knowing that you are better than anybody else, but you're not saying it out loud. You're not willing to just brag about it in front of other people. That's 100 times better than somebody who acts like they're better than everybody else and is constantly flaunting their wealth, their fashion, their job, their hobbies, their stories, the stories they get into, all this stuff. They're constantly bragging about that. That's insecurity. Always feels the need to prove themselves. Same thing. They go in hand. They act like they're better than everybody else because they feel the need to prove themselves. That's insecurity. The insecurity is clear as glass. Rude to parents, deal breaker. Well, it depends. But if you are rude to your parents and your parents are like normal people and they're just being parents, they're trying to parent you, and you're rude to them, red flag. Because it shows that you act like that around somebody who's been with you your entire life and you have no respect towards somebody who you should like. They raised you. They might be like toxic, they might be horrible, but that doesn't mean you should be rude to them for no reason. Like, I don't get along with my parents all the time. I'm not rude to them. Can't text in complete sentence, that's fine. If you're like a double texter and you have to finish your sentence halfway through, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're a one-word replier, no. But if you type like this, hey, got to, go to the mall, gotta find this new PC card, and that's fine. It might be a little bit annoying, but that's fine. Maybe they're just a slow typer. If you type like that, and your messages come between intervals of like 2 minutes each, and they're like, hey, by the way, went to get a new processor because like that's annoying. But that's not a deal breaker. It doesn't matter. Attention sponge. Like, they love the attention. That's not bad. That's not the worst thing. Depends on the situation. It doesn't matter. If they're an attention hog and they're constantly doing things on purpose to get people to like react to them, they're acting like a class clown. It depends. It doesn't matter to me. You have to make all the big plans bad but manageable. If I have to constantly be the one inviting somebody out and being like, hey, let's go get dinner together. Let's go hang out. Let's go do this. And it needs to be me planning everything. That might be a deal breaker. It's bad. That might be something you have to make a conversation with them about, though. That it might be manageable. Maybe they don't realize. Maybe they're worried. They have social anxiety, right? Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Maybe they have social anxiety and they are worried about bothering you or being a bother. That's a conversation you need to have before you put them in deal breaker. Did I crash? Never mind. I'm moving. I froze for a second. Time stopped. They want to make all the big plans. Same thing. Not the worst thing. Bad but manageable. I think it's fine. It's manageable. It's not the worst thing. This is also another conversation you have to have with them. Maybe they're like, I want to do this. I want to do that. Actually, that's not the worst thing, actually. If you are the type of person to just casually every day to day be like, let's go get dinner together. Let's go do this. But then they're the person who wants to make plans for like vacations or major events like that. And they want to make it a big special event, but you're not too into that. That's not a bad thing. Maybe they just really like planning events. Not a bad thing. Always on their phone. It depends. If they're always on their phone around you, that might be a bad thing. It might be a bad thing because they're more interested in their phone than you. Into celebrity gossip or reality TV. That's not a bad thing. That doesn't matter. Bad hygiene or does not take care of their health. Bad. Deal breaker. I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't take care of their health. If they stink, absolutely not. Get out of here. Get out of here. No, absolutely not. Always want to eat out. That's not a bad thing. It just means that they can't cook. That's not a bad thing. It's manageable. They can be taught how to cook. You can learn. If they want to eat out all the time because they're lazy and they don't know how to cook or clean, red flag, but might be manageable. Depends on the person. Likes going for drinks often. That's not bad. That's neutral. Doesn't matter. Some people really like going to bars. I don't care. Struggles with keeping a job. Deal breaker. If they're constantly getting fired for jobs because of, well, I just didn't like the company, I didn't like the way they acted, I don't like my coworkers, and constantly negativity, that might be a them problem. That might be a deal breaker. Calls himself a nice guy. Bad. Yeah, bars are fine. Bars are fine. Going for drinks is nice. I have friends who love going to bars. I have friends who love going to speakeasies. They like the atmosphere, they like trying new drinks, they love alcohol, they love drinking. That's fine. It's not a negative. If you call yourself a nice guy, that you are not a nice guy, I'm sorry. If you're like, I'm a nice guy, why don't girls like me? Please look in a mirror. You shouldn't have to call yourself a nice guy to be a nice guy. You shouldn't have to call yourself a nice person to be considered a nice person. You just have to act. Actions speak louder than words. Females who affectionately refer to their friends as bitches. Doesn't matter. That's just their personality. I have a friend who used to call people bitch. That was her personality. You know she's doing it affectionately. Swears a lot. That's not bad. That is not bad. That just means that they're very expressive. It's against swearing. That doesn't matter. I don't swear. That doesn't matter. Not at all. Yeah, not at all. It's not that bad. Like spicy food. Why is this a dislike? Rejoice men with mouths of sailors. It doesn't matter. Whether you swear or don't swear at all, it doesn't matter. I personally don't swear. That's a personal thing. Somebody who swears all the time around me, it doesn't matter. I don't think I would. It wouldn't bother me. That's just how they are. If they do it as a habit because that's how they grew up, you know, that's whatever. If they like spicy food, doesn't matter. Dislike spicy food, that doesn't matter. Being picky with food isn't a big issue. Like sweets, doesn't matter. Dislike sweets, doesn't matter. Fast food is their favorite genre of food? Depends on the situation. If you are a type of person who's like only gonna have fast food, I'm gonna sleep to the stream. Yep, yes. Fast food is their favorite genre of food. If they're constantly eating out, like here, bad but manageable, always want to eat out, this might be bad. Depends on the situation. If fast food is your favorite genre of food because you always want to eat out and you can't cook at home, that might be a concern. That might be concerning. It depends. Depends on the situation. Does not have a degree nor working towards one. They are a NEET. They are not employed, educated, or working. Or, was it? What is the term for NEET again? Not educated, employed, or in training. Yes. They are a NEET. They do not have a degree or working towards one. Yes. Depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. If you have a job but you don't have a degree and you graduated high school and you just straight went into the workforce, that's not a bad thing. It might make you behind in the current economy, in the current job market specifically. It might put you in a bad place in the future. You might be skipped on promotions if you're working in a corporate setting. You might not be able to move up the ladder as fast as you would like to, so that might be an issue when it comes to like finances in your job, but it's not a bad thing in a relationship specifically. If it becomes an issue in the future where you are making more than your partner and they have an issue with that, then that's when that bad but manageable needs to come in, because then you need to have a conversation and sit down with the person and be like, hey, we need to talk. Has a lot of debt. Bad but manageable. Bad but manageable. If you have a lot of debt because you are really bad with money, that is an issue. That is an issue. If you have a lot of debt because it was inherited from a parent or a relative and you took on their debt because they passed away, that is a different issue. If you have a lot of debt because of a parent or a family, that's a little bit different than you being extremely reckless with your own money. So it depends. Money, financial issues is the number one reason a lot of relationships fail. It's really hard to be in a relationship where you're constantly worried about money. So it might be a deal breaker. It depends on how they deal with it. Never travel outside their hometown. Doesn't matter. Could be good, could be bad. It doesn't matter. If you've never traveled before, that's fine. It just means that when you travel with them, it could be a fun experience because you get to see their true reactions for the first time experiencing something that they're not used to. You get to experience something with them for the first time, and then you get to make memories. Then they will remember, hey, that's the first time I went outside the country with this person. That's nice. That's cute. Wants kids. Doesn't matter. Does not want kids. Doesn't matter. I don't think that matters in a relationship. Well, maybe it does to some people, but for me, I don't want kids. Needs a lot of personal space. Depends on the situation. If they need a lot of personal space because they are hiding something or they have an issue, that might be bad but manageable. Actually, not really. That might be a deal breaker. But if they need a lot of personal space because they just don't like touch or they don't like to cuddle, but they show their actions in other ways that they like you, it depends. Depends on you as a person. Like, for me as a person, if they need a lot of personal space, that's a deal breaker for me. Because while I am also a person who needs a lot of personal space, if I really like somebody, I would want to be with them. I don't think I would be happy in a relationship where I never see a person and they just don't want to be around me. Like, if you like somebody, why would you want to not be? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm fine with those kind of relationships, like with my friends in particular. If I talk to my friends once a month, I know we're still friends. We can catch up. That's not needing personal space because I know that they're busy. But if it's a thing where it's like, oh, I just can't handle being around you, that's an issue. Likes cartoons, hate cartoons. Doesn't matter. Hates cartoons, dislike. Dislike. Deal breaker. Hates. No. If they hate on cartoons and they call them, that's for children. That's bad. Negative. Talkative online but silent IRL. That could be cute. Doesn't matter. Well, it depends on a person. They could be neurodivergent. They could just be bad expressing themselves in person. Maybe they find typing easier because they're able to think their thoughts out before putting them out in paper, rather than being spoken out loud. Not the worst thing. Not good, not bad. Your friends do not like them. Depends on the situation. If your friends pick up a red flag in somebody and you are not clear of it and they tell you and you're not willing to listen to them, that's a red flag maybe. But they have to tell you and you have to listen. If your friends don't like them because it's a misunderstanding or they've heard rumors that aren't true and you know them more than your friends might know them, that's a different story. Extreme involvement with parents. That's not a bad thing. Could be good. Could be bad. If they're extremely involved with their parents to the point of being like a mama's boy, where they're like, my parents said we can't hang out. That's a problem. But if they're really close to their family, that's a good thing. Has an addiction, depends on what type of addiction. Depends on addiction. Bad but manageable, depends on the addiction. If they're into alcohol or any type of like drug or like smoking, vaping, like any type of addiction, it could be bad, because substance abuse disorders are very hard to get out of. Substance abuse disorders are very serious and they're very like destructive and they cost a lot of money and it can ruin a lot of lives and relationships. But when it comes to like an addiction, like, I don't know, I love spending money on gacha, that's also bad. But manageable. I mean, it depends. Depends. What kind of addiction? Do you have an addiction to like gacha? Do you have an addiction to like alcohol? Do you have an addiction to like, I don't know, smoking? It depends. Only text you at night. It depends on the situation as well. They may have a job. They can't message you all the time. They only text you at nighttime. If they only text you at nighttime with the intent of going, what you doing? And they hit you up for like phone sex, that's a red flag. They're only interested in you sexually. But if they only text you at night and that's the only time they can communicate with you because they're busy or there's a time difference and it's a long distance relationship, it depends on the situation. Bad at communicating. This might be a deal breaker. If you cannot communicate properly, you should not be in a relationship. I'm sorry. If you cannot clearly have a conversation with somebody and be able to come out and see both sides of the situation and an understanding of why that person said that thing, that is a problem. If you are unable to communicate your thoughts, like let's say that you're in a relationship and you don't like the way somebody does something, but you can't tell them that you don't like that they do something, so instead you act passive aggressive about it the entire time because you don't want to tell them that you don't like the way they do something, and it comes out as negativity and resentment. It builds. And it becomes a straw that breaks the camel's back because it'll just keep building and building until one day they explode. So being bad at communication is the same thing as emotional insecurity, like not being able to, you know, it's the same thing as like, where is it? Up here. Lack of accountability. Unwilling to address or resolve conflicts. The resentment riz though, what do you mean? How is that a thing? Describes their exes as crazy. It depends on the situation. I've known people who have insane exes. My dad was one of them. Fun fact. My dad was one of them. His ex set fire to all his clothes on the lawn. And he refuses to talk about it. We don't know why, but that is a thing. If they describe all of their exes as crazy, that might be a them problem. But if they say like, oh, I had one ex that was like wild and like they were a stalker and like crazy things happened to them, that's not negative. That just might mean that they were with somebody who was crazy. If they say all their exes are crazy though, that might be a different story, but depends. Cheated in the past. Red flag. I'm sorry. If they've cheated on you in the past and they swear that they're not going to do it, you never know if they're going to do it again. I'm sorry, but like, they've done it before. They've done it before, and they might, you never know. You can't trust what they say. But yeah, what if they turn out to be lying? They're like, oh, I swear I won't do it again. You don't know. And it's kind of hard to win back trust that's already been lost. Needs to be reassured often. Depends on the situation. If they are insecure, well, one sec. Deal breaker. Sorry. Deal breaker. Bad but manageable, actually. Bad but manageable. If they need to be reassured often because they're insecure and they have a problem mentally and they need to rely on you to constantly tell them that things are fine and they're like, do you still like me? Do you still like me? I'm sorry. Do you still like me? You haven't talked to me in like 3 days. Do you still like me? That kind of relationship, that's bad because they're clingy. I don't like clingy people. Personally. If they need reassurance because they like words of affirmation and they need you to tell them that you like them, otherwise they get insecure, they might have a problem too. You need to have a conversation with them and be like, hey, do you like, is this a you problem in your mind or is it like a something else going on? Disrespect animals, red flag. If you are not nice to animals, you're not nice to service staff, you're mean to innocent people who don't deserve it and you take it out on them, red flag. Absolutely red flag. Trust issues. Red flag. If you can't trust people in a relationship where you're supposed to be open and honest, I don't know what to tell you other than maybe you shouldn't be in a relationship. If you can't trust the person that you are friends with or that you're in a relationship with, whether it be romantic or friendship, you shouldn't be in a relationship. Why are you friends with that person? Why do you like them if you can't trust them? And I understand that some people have walls up, right? But initially, that's fine. If it's been 2 years and you still have issues, that's a you problem. Does not understand pop culture references. That doesn't matter. I don't understand a lot of pop culture references. That doesn't matter. Parents track their location. Depends on the situation. If their parents are very helicopter parently, and they're like, I need to monitor every single thing that this person does, like an in-law, and they're very picky about that, you know that they will be picky towards you. They will criticize anything that you do too. I think that person is cooked. Yeah, that's kind of... Their parents have issues. If their parents are like that. If their parents are the type of person to take their door away for a minor inconvenience, be like, I need to see what you're doing in your room. I'm gonna take your door out. I need to look at your phone. Right? Stuff like that. That's a parent thing. That parent needs to look at themselves. I wouldn't say it's a red flag for the person, but the parent is the red flag. Smokes. Bad but manageable. Actually, no, that's not true. Deal breaker. I wouldn't want to be with somebody who smokes. Does drugs. I would want to be with somebody who does drugs. No. Not for me. Bad at driving. Bad but manageable. They can learn. Actually, I don't know, depends. If they're bad at driving and they never improve, and they have a driver's license or something, and they've got into like 5 car accidents because they are bad at paying attention, that's a deal breaker. I'd be concerned. I'd be like, what the heck is wrong with this person? I don't want to be in a car with them. Excessive thirst for anime men or women. Depends on the situation. If you are excessively thirsty for anime women and men, that to the point that you spend millions of dollars on them, hundreds, thousands of dollars on a character, Genjin, feral reaction, didn't you go to bed? If you are the type of person to spend insane amounts of money on a character, you buy merch, you buy figurines, you buy gacha, just for a character, that might be a problem. Like, I remember reading this one story on Reddit about this lady who was in a relationship with a guy, and he took her credit card that she had. He took her credit card that she was using to save up. It was her emergency money that she was using to plan for emergencies, like if one of them got into an accident and they needed to pay for a hospital bill, or if like a part of the house breaks down and they need to do repairs, right? He took her money that she had saved for years and you spend it all on gacha. $4,000 worth. And these people work minimum wage. And the guy was not employed. She was the sole breadwinner of the house, and he took her money. And he was her fiance. That is an extreme red flag. That is when you walk away. When you have a problem to the point of like stealing somebody else's money. Like you see kids online spending thousands of their parents' money because they stole their parents' credit card on a gacha because of a character. That's when it becomes a problem. Bad but manageable. If the one's making the money and gets it under control, it's fine, yeah. If you know how to spend your money, you are fine with money. You make your own money, it's your money, whatever. You buy figurines because you love this one character, that is your little Pookie Bear. That is your little baby boy. That is your Humpty Dumpty little scrumptious diglious little guy. That is your baby child. I don't care. I don't care. If your favorite character is, I don't know, what's a popular character? If your favorite if your favorite character, for example, I'm just gonna pull a random character out of a hat, is Saber from Fate Stay Night to the point where you have a cardboard cutout of her, you have a cardboard cutout of that lady, you have a body pillow, you have multiple buttons, you have posters all over your wall like that one dude. Posters all over the wall, posters all over the floor, posters all over the ceiling, covered, everything. Merch. So much merch of this one character. That's questionable. I'd be concerned. If you have a tiny little shrine, that's fine. I don't care. If your whole wall is covered in posters of this one character, that's a little concerning. It makes you look like a stalker. But if you're if you're able to draw the line between like knowing that a character is your favorite and knowing a character is your favorite that you're willing to spend money on because you like the character, that's fine. If you're a little bit obsessed with it to the point of like spending all of your money on it and not knowing when to stop, I think being thirsty for anime or fictional characters is fine. It's when you are excessively spending money to the point of like hemorrhaging every single paycheck that you have. Instead of saving it, you're like, I need to get the new gacha. I need to get the new merch. I need to get the new thing. That's an issue. Overly quirky. I don't think being quirky is a bad thing. How are you overly quirky? Okay, but the LeBron shrine. I don't know. I don't watch football. I don't watch basketball. I cannot. If sports was on here, is sports on here? If they watch sports, red flag. If you watch sports, red flag. I'm sorry. Bad but manageable. Overly quirky. I don't think overly quirky is a bad thing. It just means that you're odd. You're a little guy. You're a funny little guy. That's not a bad thing. Extremely indecisive. That's not a bad thing. That's not the worst thing. It doesn't matter. If you're like extremely decisive, you can work on that. I can decide things. I will put on the pants. I'd be like, excuse me, this person wants no mayonnaise. Okay. Has a very specific coffee order. That's not a worst thing. That just means they know what they like. Quotes TikToks IRL. That's not a bad thing. That just means they're Gen Z. That means they're a Zoomer. Gamer. That's not a bad thing. That could be good. I like that. I like if they're a gamer. That I play games. That's not a bad thing. Has a stuffed animal collection. I like that. If you have a stuffed animal collection, that's a green flag. I don't care. Green flag. Female with masculine hobby, males with girly hobby. I like that. I love the gap moe between like girls doing masculine, quote unquote masculine hobbies like woodworking, like women in flannel with muscles. Oh my god. Women who weightlift. Hell yeah. Oh my god. I love women with muscles. I like women who can pick me up. Guys with girly hobbies, guys who like knitting, guys who like drawing, guys who have who are in touch with their feminine side. They're not afraid to paint their nails. They're not afraid to wear makeup. I like that too. I like guys who are into girly hobbies. I like girls who are into masculine hobbies. I love strong women. We love strong women in this household. Hell yeah. Anger issues. Red flag. I'm sorry. You need to fix yourself. You need to fix yourself. If you had anger issues in the past and you've gotten over them, that's a good flag. But if you still have anger issues and your nearest reaction to a minor inconvenience is punching the wall to feel something, that is a red flag. Had recent one again, off again relationships. Depends on the situation. I mean, is it bad but manageable? That's not a bad thing. It's manageable though. Not something yeah, exactly. If you need to punch something, you don't know if they might turn that fist against you. Does not like when you are with friends. Red flag. If they cannot support you or your hobbies and you... Oh, what do you mean? Anger issues or like relationships? If they don't like when you're with your friends, that means that they're like toxically possessive. Anger issues against somebody, that I don't think that's a good thing. Says they do not care. People who say they do not care but they do. Not the worst thing. That just means they're a tsundere. That makes them a tsundere if they're like, I don't care, but they do. Like, I can see this in a positive light. Like, let's say that you're at a meal with somebody, you're having pizza together, and there's a last slice, and you're both looking at it, and they go, "You can have it," and you're like, "Are you sure?" And you know deep down inside they want that last slice, but they say, "No, it's fine. I don't care. I'm not hungry." But you know that they want that last slice, but they're willing to give it up for you. That's nice. That's a good flag. It's not the worst thing. It's a good thing. If they say they don't care, but they do care, like, and you can tell that it's building resentment, that's a different issue, but it depends. Refuses to try your hobbies. Red flag. I mean, bad but manageable. Red flag, actually. If you don't want to participate in my hobbies with me, or at least are willing to let me yap about my interests and hobbies to you for hours, then that's a red flag. They don't like you. They don't like me. If they're not willing, what is an evil hobby? My hobby is taps fingers together, murdering evil men. Like yaoi. That's not an evil hobby. I think yaoi is a good thing. I think yaoi isn't bad. Yaoi is like shoujo. Yaoi is literally just relationships between men. There's no difference. If I'm a serial killer and my friends won't help me bury the body, they're not my friends. What if it's reading Family Guy fanfic? That's fine. Power to them. They have a hobby. I don't care. I don't care. Well, it won't be my thing. I wouldn't go out of my way to do it. Like, let's say the hobby is sports, but this is refuses to try your hobbies. It's not me refusing to try other people's hobbies. This is my red flag. If somebody loves sports and they're like, watch a game with me, I'd be like, I will sit on the couch with you. I won't watch TV. I will not watch with you. I will sit there and be with you physically in the room. I am not paying attention. You will lose me so fast. So that's my red flag. No motivations, goals, or dreams. Red flag. You have no hobbies in life. You have no drive. You're not going anywhere. You are a rock. I like people with passion. I like people with ambitions and goals and dreams. Even if it's something stupid. If your goal in life is to create the world's largest cheese ball, you have a dream. Go out there. Go do your dream. Live your best life. If you have no hobbies, no whatevers, no drive in life, you have no passions, why are you, what are you doing? You're just drifting on in life. On a boat, good for you. Be a pirate. Live your best life. Yes. If you have no goals in life, that's a red flag. I'm sorry. Everybody has something that they want to do. Or maybe they're insecure and they don't want to admit it because they think it's stupid. I think you should be bold. Say it with your chest. Do what you want to do. Won't let you use their phone. Red flag. Bad but manageable. It depends on the situation. If they won't let me use their phone, if they hide their phone when I pass by and they don't trust me to look at it, red flag. Red flag. Bad but manageable. I don't really care. Actually, yeah, I won't let you use your phone. Deal breaker. What are you doing that I can't see? If it's a surprise and it's a secret that you're planning and it's on your phone, sure. But if it's like, I don't want you to see what I do, it's suspicious. That's sus. If you just join my Clash of Clans, nah. If you won't let me use your phone to play games, if you won't let me use your phone to play games or take your phone to take pictures, that's a red flag. Because I like doing that to my friends. We are out in public, I'll take their phone, I'll take pictures. I'll take their phone, I'll take pictures of them, and then I'll put it back. Like if they go to the bathroom and they're like, watch my stuff, I'll be like, okay. And then I'll take their phone and take pictures of like silly things. So if they will let me touch their phone, that's a red flag to me. Likes obscure music only, red flag. I'm kidding. Bad but manageable. Well, red flag. If you only like obscure music, what if I just install Minion Rush or something for my girl? Would you install Subway Surfers for your girl? Would you play Subway Surfers and have it on your phone just for them? If they like obscure music only, that's a red flag. Only. Because they're not willing to try anything else. Red flag. Kind of. It's different from having a different hobby, because if you're like, if they're constantly telling you like, oh, why do you listen to that garbage? Listen to this music. This is so much better. That's a red flag. Yeah. Yeah, Subway Surfers. Doesn't like music? Depends on the situation. I mean, some people don't listen to music at all. They go through life soundtrackless. I don't know how. They just don't listen to things. They just passively stand there and live life. Not the worst thing. I think it's kind of odd because I like music. If I was with somebody who did not like music, it's not the worst thing, but I'd be kind of sad. But I'd be okay with it, I guess. I do my thing. That means when we're in the car, I get to pick the music because they don't care. That's a good thing. What if it's a guy that listens to Taylor Swift unironically? Taylor Swift is nice. What's wrong with that? I mean, I don't listen to her newer songs. I like her older music better, but I don't think it's a bad thing. Early bird or night owl, neutral, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's only an issue if they're an early bird and they're like, get up and see the sunset with me. Sorry. Get up and see the morning. Get up at 3 a.m. with me. I want to hang out with you at 3 a.m. so that we can watch the sunrise together. No. I am a night owl. Do not change that about me. Chronically online to the point of being like horribly childish. Deal breaker. If they're chronically online to the point of like being annoying about it, like they're only talking about internet drama constantly, internet drama all the time. Did you see that so-and-so, whatever famous Twitch streamer did this, that person did that, this person said this person said that online? Deal breaker. I don't care what people I don't know do. I'm sorry. I don't follow celebrities. If you're telling me constantly about people that I don't care about or I don't know, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm sorry. I cannot. The Asmon Gold couple talks. No, boring. That's the one hobby I refuse to support. Don't tell me about other people. Don't tell me about other people. Tell me about yourself, but don't tell me about other people. I don't care. I don't care about other people in sports. I don't care about other people in celebrities. I don't care about whoever so-and-so online drama did. About me? Yes, sorry. I don't know enough about you. Tell me about yourself. Maybe then I'll know. But if you were to tell me, hey, did you see that new play up LeBron James did the other day? I'd be like, I don't care. If it was about a hobby, I'm acoustic. No, don't worry. No. If it's about your hobby and you genuinely are passionate about an issue, if you like a hobby, I am fine with you telling that, right? But if you are constantly chronically online to the point of following people rather than your own life, if your entire life revolves around somebody who you don't know, if your only talking point is talking about somebody that you don't know, and every word out of your mouth is about another person, that is concerning, because what is going on in your life that you have nothing to talk about yourself about? That's concerning, when you have no other life outside of this thing. It's one thing if you're like, hey, I was playing this game the other day and I experienced this. That's about you. If you're like, I watched so-and-so streamer play the other day and they said this, that's not about you. That's about somebody else. That's not you. It's fine to talk about a streamer. It's fine to talk about that. But if your everything is like, oh, so-and-so told me about this thing and that's my formed opinion about it because the other person said that and I have no experience going out for context clues and doing my own research outside of it, that's a problem. Do your research. Don't take things superficially from other people. Do your own research. If someone tells you something so-and-so was bad, don't just repeat it. Look it up. Go around and be like, is this true? Is this true? Can I form an opinion about this? Do I know enough to form an opinion about this issue? If you don't know anything about the issue, you do not have an opinion. What you hear somebody else say about an issue should not form your opinion. You can use it as a stepping stone. You can use it for information, but you shouldn't take it as a solid advice. Same thing goes with me. Whatever I say, don't go to somebody else and be like, oh, Kyo Kamiya told me to say this. No. I've looked at the screen for 5 minutes now, not sure what you're ranking. Relationship red flags. Relationship red flags. Hello, welcome, iPoopala. I love your username. IBS bowel syndrome, let's go. Hot girl tummy issues, let's go. The only red flag I mildly dislike is those who can't think for themselves. Yeah, I agree. I'll get anything. I'll get what you get. I just want to grab them by the shoulder and be like, what do you like? Those are the hardest people to get gifts for. Those are the hardest people to get gifts for. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what you enjoy. Disney adult. Deal breaker, I'm sorry. People who go to Disney as an adult to the point of being obsessed with it because they're clinging on to their childhood and they never grew up as a person, that's a red flag. But if you like Disney unironically and you just enjoy Disney as like a franchise, whatever. Why is rude to parents instant deal breaker? Good night, have a good rest of your stream. Thank you for stopping by, Turtle. Good night. Being rude to parents is considered an instant deal breaker because... Oh, 1 sec, let me do this. Tuck. Good night. Because being rude to your parents, it shows that like somebody who raised you If they were toxic to you, that's understandable. But if it was somebody who, yeah, if your family was toxic to you when growing up and they were abusive, or you were in an unsafe situation growing up, that's understandable. But if you're somebody who has a relationship with somebody and they tell you to do something and you're rude to them for no reason, when they haven't done anything to you, that's something else. If you're acting out against your parents because they told you to clean the dishes and you just want to play video game, that's a red flag. So like those white kids in movies who are rude to their mom, yes. Yes. Mom isn't gonna grind Clash Royale. Well, you can grind Clash Royale another time, right? It's the same thing. Like, replace parents with, I don't know, somebody whose opinion matters to you. It could be your friends. You could be your significant other. It could be your aunt, your uncle, your friend, your grandparents, your, I don't know, you're somebody who you looked up to, your guardian, your mentor. If they tell you to do something and you're rude to them, and you're rude for absolutely no reason, that's a red flag. Why are you acting like that? Why are you acting like that? What if those deal breakers are on the path to be better? Would that be an instant or 50-50? These are if the person interacts like this with me, like they make an effort to change. That's fine if they make an effort to change, but if they act like that, if they act like this, right? I refuse to change something about a person. That is not my job to do in a relationship. I shouldn't have to be the person to go out of my way to fix somebody. Fixing people is not my job in a relationship. You can't fix people. If they want to get better, sure, I will support them through that. But if they don't want to change, red flag. Like, I won't be with that person. If they come back to me and they show that they've changed as a person actively and they constantly work towards that and you can see them changing, that's fine. That's a good flag. That's good. But if they act like this constantly and you can tell that they're not going to improve and you've sat them down as a person, my son needs to be reassured often as needs to be resurrected, and his girl is you a necromancer. Yes. Racist comments as a joke. Deal breaker. Dark humor. Deal breaker. Actually, not true. Not the worst thing. I don't mind dark humor in the fact of like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if I jumped out this window? I get dark humor, it's edgy, it's fine. But like, racist comments as a joke, that's not good. That's not it. If your dark humor is like, I'm gonna throw myself out the window at a minor inconvenience, it can be funny. I would be concerned about your mental health though. Maybe replace... I think it's actually infinitely funny. Infinitely more funnier. Instead of going, I'm going to throw myself out the window at a minor inconvenience before saying, instead say, I'm going to end up on the news. I'm going to crash out. Rather than, I'm going to die. I think it's 10 times funnier to just say, I'm going to end up on the news. They will see me on the news. Watch me. Hold my beer. They will find me on Channel 9. That's 10 times funnier than saying I'm going to die. In my opinion. I think it's funnier. Watches porn. That's not the worst thing. I don't care. Watch what you like. Does not ever dress up for a date. Deal breaker. I like people who take care of themselves. If they don't dress up, that means they don't take care of themselves to me. What if it's free porn? That's over here. Neutral doesn't matter. Being a free doesn't matter to me. Being a free is not a bad thing. Tries to act cool. Depends on the situation. It depends on the situation. If you try to act cool because you're trying to impress another person, because you want them to have a good impression on you, that's normal. If you try to act cool, I'm already a deal breaker, only dress up the first few months and dress like a hobo the next. That's different though. If you want to go somewhere nice and you want to dress up, sure. But if you never, ever, ever dress up for a date and you show up to every single date looking like you haven't showered in 10 days, deal breaker. If you try to act cool and you fail at it, that's just kind of endearing. That means they're trying to impress you. It's fine. It depends on the situation. I always wear a suit and tie every day because I'm afraid of not dressing properly. Oh my god. But my hobo drip. I mean, at least make your hobo drip look nice. You can wear a nice sweatshirt and still be comfy. Do not go on a date with a clothes that you have worn 10 days in a row and has like 10 different sauce stains on. That stinky. 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 Bad hygiene. No. Assumes familiarity very early on. Red flag. They're love bombing you. This raises very high red flags in me. If you act like you know me very early in a relationship, I'm gonna be like, who are you? And why are you acting like that? Assume familiarity early on. If you are very touchy-feely with me, if you are very much like, hey, come here, come like cuddle with me, and I don't know who you are. Yeah, touching without asking, basically. Being very touchy, calling me like pet names or nicknames, and I don't know you as a person. I don't know who you, like, I literally just met you like an hour ago and you're calling me a pet name. You're like, I don't know, touching me inappropriately for like no reason, and I don't know you, and like we haven't even talked or like that. I thought it was a red flag because my love language is hugs and hand holding, but I was asked before doing so. Yeah, it's fine if you ask beforehand, but if you do things without asking, that's not nice. That's what I mean by assumes familiarity. When you are very touchy-feely and you don't ask permission. Or you act like you're best friends. Isn't not asking just a playboy though? Yeah, F-boy. Like familiarity, like you act like you are their best friend and you're like, hey, can you lend me like $100 because I need money? Come on, you're my bestie, aren't you? Like, they say stuff like that. You're my bro, you're my bestie, come on bestie, can't you lend me some money? They call you their bestie even though you don't know them. But Andrew Tate told me that thing at Game Chat. If you are getting advice from Andrew Tate, get out of here. I'm kidding. But really, like, don't listen to that person. They're wrong. Love bombing. Deal breaker. I love you very early on. Deal breaker. They don't know me. Forgets the important holidays or anniversaries. Bad but manageable. Some people are just forgetful. I don't care. Calls you daddy, wants to be called. Ew, red flag. I'm kidding. Red flag. The only person I call that is my dad. Believes in conspiracy theories. I don't care. Doesn't matter. You can believe in whatever you want. Tries to convert your beliefs, red flag. Has no filter, doesn't matter. What does it say? Strongly believes in zodiac signs, horoscopes, astrology, doesn't matter. Throws away leftovers. Oh man. Bad but manageable. I don't like wasting food. I don't like wasting food. If I see somebody else waste food, it just makes me sad because I'm like, you could have saved that for tomorrow. You could have saved that for another meal. Come on. You can enjoy that another day. That makes me sad. It's not a red flag, but it makes me sad. I'd be like, I'll eat that. Like, what about those who eat halfway and leaves it in the fridge to rot? Okay, but like, that's red flag. Is wanting to be force-fed red flag material? That's a kink, buddy. That's a kink. That's not a red flag, that's a kink. That's a kink flag. If they leave it in the fridge to rot, I think that's just as bad. That's just as bad as throwing away your leftovers because you're not eating it. You just let it get bad. Goes with the flow. That's not bad. Depends on the situation, actually. It depends on the situation. If they go with the flow like 100% of the time and they have no opinion on everything, that's annoying. But if they just go with the flow because they're easygoing and chill, it's fine. Road rage. It's not a deal breaker for me, but it's bad. That would make me raise eyebrows. I'd be like, weird. Wants to be together within the first year before, wants to live, sorry. Imagine your partner leaving the car 24/7 to fight. What? Wants to live together within the first year before marriage. Could be good. Could be good. Some people move fast. I think you have to live with somebody. I think you have to live with somebody for a little bit in order to like truly understand their living habits, because you could meet with somebody outside but not know what they're truly like unless they're at home. How early do you have to be in the relationship before moving in? I think it depends on the person. Depends on the relationship. I don't think there's like one set answer for that. It depends. For me, I think I'd want to know somebody for at least a year before I moved in. So within the first year, if it's at the end of a first year and I like the person enough, I would consider moving in. But if it was 4 months in, I would be like, hell no. Unless there was like external circumstances, like, I don't know, I lost my house and I need to live with somebody. One day is enough? No. Doesn't make time in their schedule to see you. Red flag. They don't like you. Emotional outbursts. This might be a bit controversial. It depends on the situation. I think it's fine for both sexes, both men and women, to experience emotions. You are allowed to express emotions. I think you should. I think expressing emotions is a normal thing, but knowing when to walk away from a situation when you're being emotional is fine. Throwing tantrums is not an emotion. Throwing tantrums is frustration and not knowing how to express it. Emotional maturity is the difference between knowing when to walk away from a situation to collect yourself and to experience and feel those emotions, and then coming back and having a proper talk. Emotional, yes. No, not screaming at your partner, that's abuse. Crying. An emotional outburst would be like crying. I guess you could like yelling, screaming. It can be, but not at your partner. You should walk away and do that. Crying is normal. Some people find it difficult to cry in front of another person. Some people find it difficult to cry. Emotional outbursts, like, yeah, crying. What if it's just a tiny little melty? It's fine. I still think if you feel yourself getting agitated in a conversation, you should be able to take yourself out of it. You should be like, sorry, I need to like leave to collect myself for a second. I'll be back. Because then that way you know to take a step back, to just breathe a little bit and just de-escalate the situation before you say something or do something that you don't mean. Solves disagreements with the silent treatment, red flag. Refusal to communicate is always a red flag. At times I just don't speak when I'm mad to collect myself before I shout or say something I don't mean. Is that a red flag? You have to communicate that. You have to be like, sorry, I need space to think. I need to collect myself. You can just say that. I need to collect myself. I will be back. It's one thing to say I need space and I need to think about it and I need to collect myself, or just straight up ending a disagreement by just not talking about it and just hoping to move on that the other person will forget about it. That's a red flag. Constant self-deprecating jokes, red flag. If you don't like yourself, and you are constantly putting yourself down, that's a downer. I wouldn't want to be somebody who's like that. If you don't like yourself, why would I want to be with you, right? If you don't like yourself, why would anybody want to be with you? What reason should that person have to want to be with you if you don't even like yourself, right? What merit do you bring if you don't even enjoy being around yourself, right? Why would I want to be around somebody who doesn't like themselves? Because then what reason would I have to stick around? Has a child from a previous relationship. That's not a bad thing. What does it matter? Circumstances happen in life and you just can't help it. It's not a bad thing for me. It depends on the situation, but it wouldn't be a deal breaker. If I like somebody enough, I don't think I would care. I know some people that is a deal breaker, but I don't care. It comes with the story, you know? They got lower. No degree isn't a deal breaker. Having no ambition in life is a deal breaker. Not having a degree and working, yeah. It depends on the situation, right here. I said, does not have a degree nor working towards one. If you don't have a degree but you're working, that's fine. You're in a trade. You're doing something with your life. If you have no ambition, you have not went to school, you just graduated high school, dropped out of high school, not doing anything with their life, just stays at home, lives with their parents, plays video games all day for 10 hours and only rages at video games, that's a problem. You're not doing anything with your life. They don't ask questions about you. Also, deal breaker. They don't like you. A lot of these, they don't like you. If they don't ask questions about you, they're not interested in you. They don't like you. Always wants to split the bill. Sorry, bill. Not the worst thing. Trade make big money. Depends. I'm sorry, if I'm with somebody and they're constantly talking to me about the economy and the stock market and all that, and they day trade, day traders, no. Day traders, get out of here. I'm kidding. I don't want to talk about stocks. Always wants to split the bill. It's not the worst thing. I think, if you want to take turns paying bills in a relationship and just going back and forth, that's fine. You would have to know them first, though. Because next thing you know, it'll be like, oh, I can't, can you pay for me? And then they don't pay you back, stuff like that. But going halvesies isn't fine. We're in the 21st century, you know? It's like, whatever. I mean, it's nice to have somebody pay for you. I think it's cute if somebody pays. But I don't mind, because I also... If they always want to spill, it's not the worst thing. The finance bros, yeah, no. Nah, get out of here. Get out of here. Expects you to pay for everything. Expects you to pay for... Deal breaker. If they expect me to pay for everything, I'm sorry. I'm not your credit card. This question is when you're staying in the same place. Let's say your partner can't pay for the next month because they have to find a new job and ask for help. Would that be a red flag? No. This is with the intention that they're going to pick themselves back up. You know it's only temporary. If it's not temporary and it's been 6 months and they're still on the couch and they can't find a job and they're not looking, that's a problem. If they're not actively looking and you can tell they're not actively looking, you need to have that conversation with them and be like, hey, I cannot be the sole breadwinner in this household. I don't make enough money to support both of us. So either you move out, and then I can't afford this place by myself, so I will move to a smaller place and we will sell the place and you have to get out of here. Or you will go find a job. What if I lose my jobs and my savings to be used for my cigarettes to cope? Red flag. Get out of here. Kidding. But yes, no. Red flag. Like I said, right here, addiction, smoke, red flag. Needs to borrow money a lot. Red flag. I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to be with somebody who has financial issues. Whole personality revolves around one thing, red flag. If your only hobby is around one certain thing, and that's all you ever talk about, only, nothing else. They don't even care about you. They only want to talk about this one thing. Every single conversation moves back to this one thing. My number one deal breaker. No. I have talked to one person before and every single conversation kept going back to sex. And it was always about sex and physical pleasure with them. It was like, so, what's your favorite place in the body? What's your favorite place? What would you do if I kissed you? Yes, they exist. These people do exist. What would you do if I kissed you? What would you do if I came over? What would you do if I did? And I was like, oh my God, this person won't stop talking about this issue. So I stopped talking to them. Thought they only exist in movies? Nope, they exist. A friend? Nope. Somebody I met online. I guess an online friend, but every single conversation we had would kept going back to that same topic, so I just blocked them. Says you don't own them until marriage. What the heck? You don't own them? What? Oh, do they mean like relationships? Like as in like having an open relationship? Like they don't want exclusivity until marriage? The word own is crazy. I know. What does that mean? Does that mean like they don't want to be exclusive with you until they're married? I think this is what they mean, like that you don't own them, as in you don't own them as like we are not exclusive, for example. Like let's say you're dating this person and they're like, oh, I want to sleep with whoever I want unless we're married. I want to just have whatever. I just want to have an open fling with anybody I want to, but we're still dating. But I just want an open relationship. Low key want to okay freaky. Okay freaky. Disclose your kinks in public in my stream. Okay. You go you. Flings are a red flag to me? Depends. If they've had past flings, I don't care. At least you know what you want. Exactly. Whoever they've been with previously, body count is not an issue. I don't care about body count. It only matters with what you do now. Oh, and as in you don't have any validation over me until marriage. Oh, like they can't tell you what to do? I think? I don't know. Either way, I think it's kind of wild. I find it weird in those who flex their body count. Yeah. people going like, oh, I've slept with so-and-so people. That might be a negative thing. I'm just saying it doesn't matter to me if somebody has slept with 20 people versus somebody who has slept with 0. It doesn't make a difference to me. They always change the plans to better suit them. Deal breaker. They're not considerate. They're not considerate of your time. Oh my god, my deal breaker list is huge. The STD king community though, we have to respect everyone. What? That's crazy. Can't handle me at my worst, don't deserve me at my best. Red flag. People who say this specific quote, you can't handle me at my worst and you don't deserve me at my best. They use this to play off their negative traits. The same people who say no drama please. If you can't handle me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best. You know that they don't have a best side. That is their best side at best. Their worst is just gonna keep coming out. It doesn't get better. They miss high school. That's not a bad thing. Okay, it depends on the situation. If they peaked in high school and they're constantly talking about their high school parties and whatever, they haven't grown up. They are a 20-something-year-old. They are like, they haven't grown up. They peaked in high school, I'm sorry. They peaked in high school and that's all they think about. And now they're 30 plus years old and they're old and miserable. I'm sorry, but that's true. It's one thing to miss high school and just look back on it nostalgically and think of your fond memories you had it with your friends. Like, I miss some parts of high school. Am I 30 plus? No, I'm 1,000. If they're constantly going like, man, I miss high school because I miss when I used to see my friends every day in school. I used to see my friends every day in school. It's fine. It's fine to miss that. It just means, you know, your priority, having a lot of deal breakers isn't a bad thing. That's true. I know what I want in a relationship, and I have high standards. Unsure about their sexuality, that's not a bad thing. As long as you're willing to experiment, that's not a bad thing. Could be good. Actually, no. I mean, it doesn't matter. Constantly wants to take selfies or take photos together. That could be good. I think it's cute. I think it's nice to have, want to take pictures of people. Or to take pictures with other people. Sorry. Bestiality. Oh my god, you should clean your ears. I think you need to clean your ears. What do you... Has a lot of noticeable tattoos. Doesn't matter. You could have a lot of tattoos. You could have none tattoos. I think tattoos are nice. Good on you. You're able to afford tattoos. Your mom's really pretty. Thank you. Welcome. Some tattoos fit people. Yeah. Has a lot of noticeable tattoos. Like if your arm is covered in tattoos, that doesn't matter. If you have a lot of like tattoos all over your body, I think that can be cool. If you have tattoos in your face, depends on the type of tattoos. Needs a relationship to include sex. Not the worst thing. Sex isn't the most important thing to me in a relationship. So if they need the relationship to include sex, depends. Like, you would have to date for a while. Like, if your first idea to be in a relationship is to be like, I want sex, like, no, I don't think you should be in a relationship. You just want to hook up. Women with tattoos is cool. Yeah, women with pretty tattoos. Oh my god, women with back tattoos. Women with tattoos on their shoulder. Women with tattoos on the back of their neck. Oh my god, I love women with like the tattoo that goes like on their chest. Like on their sternum, like right underneath, like in between their boobs. Or on the back. Those are really cool. Those hurt so bad though. I've heard from people who get tattoos in those places. Because it's on the ribs. Rib tattoos hurt. There is a reason why the sternum tap is what you do to check if somebody's conscious or not. By the way, if someone is on the floor and you don't know if they're having a heart attack or not, your first reaction should be to get their attention. If they're not responding, you do a sternum press. You take your fist, you put it underneath, like where their ribs are at the bottom, and you grind your fist into that position. You press down and you rub. And if they do not react to that, because that hurts a lot, if they're not reacting, you need to do CPR. You need to call an ambulance because they are unresponsive and unconscious. Goth girl, yeah, goth girls. I like people with piercings. People with piercings, people with tattoos. I think it's nice. Constant messy living space. That's neutral. I don't care. Well, depends on the situation. If their place is moldy and they haven't washed their bed sheets to the point that their bed sheets are yellow, that's disgusting. If it's messy, as in messy that they don't know where to put their stuff, maybe they have ADHD, they're neurodivergent, that's different. Opinions on blackout tattoos, it depends on the person. Some people can make it work. Those are expensive. So good on them that they can afford it, but it takes so much time to do blackout tattoos. They're willing to sit in a chair for hours. Also, they fade after a couple of years and it doesn't look as nice anymore. So they have to constantly get it retouched, and that's also expensive. So blackout tattoos, they're nice to look at when they're new, but they fade and it's expensive. If someone has a blackout tattoo, it shows patience. Yeah, they have they're willing to sit in a chair for hours. For hours in pain. Like, I guess that's impressive. They're a masochist. They don't express any issues during the relationship. This depends on the situation. If you think there's an issue in a relationship because they don't perceive there's an issue, but you do, that might be a problem. That's up to you to bring it up, though. You have to bring up that issue if you think there's an issue. If you have an issue and you don't bring it up, and they think everything's all fine and dandy, that's a red flag on you. Bro, that's not worth it if it's gonna fade like that. Some people get tattoos for the purpose of the now rather than the future, and you can always touch it up. Have to do everything together. Red flag. Red flag for me. I don't like people who are like, can we go to the grocery store together? I need you to hold my hand to do like everything. Can you hold my hand and do taxes with me? No. I'm sorry. I don't want to do everything together. I think I need space as a couple. What if you wanted to shit and they want to hold your hand doing so? No. Get out of here. Absolutely not. I'd be like, I'm sorry. No. If you needed me to pass you toilet paper, sure. But if you want to hold my hand while doing that, no. I don't even want to shower together with another person. That's my time. I wouldn't even want to take a shower together. Would I be a red flag if you're married and they want separate rooms for certain days? No. I believe in separate bedrooms for couples. I think it's fine to have a separate bedroom as a married couple. It's fine. If a person snored, I would not stand that. I would be in a separate room. I don't care if I have to sleep on the couch. If they snore and I can't sleep, I'm getting a separate room. Why not help them? I'm playing. Listen, if they need help, they would ask for it. Can't hold eye contact during conversation. Not the worst thing. If it's a neurodivergent problem and they're paying attention but they can't look at you, that's fine. But if they're distracted, and they can't look at you or pay attention to your conversation without having Subway Surfers or jingling keys in front of them. Their attention span is that bad. That's a problem. Lack of social life. What if I'm afraid of the dark? I don't know. Yeah, the jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, 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 jingle. Come on, guys, pay attention. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, jingle. Come on, guys. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle. I shake myself around like I'm a key. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Come on, guys. What if no social life and they're always busy with work? I don't think that's a problem. It depends on the situation. I have no social life. I have no social life. That's my red flag. Not their first marriage. It doesn't matter to me. Treats you like their therapist. Get a therapist. Not an active listener. Red flag. There you go. At least I'm gonna do my red flags after this. That's what I'm doing. So this is my list of deal breakers. Choose loudly, diminishes your feelings or opinions, controlling, unwilling to address or resolve conflicts, passive aggressive, lacks accountability, excessive jealousy, disregards boundaries, one-uppers, only compliments physical attributes, rude to service or retail staff, brags about how good of a liar they are, constantly brings up an ex, lacks empathy, references outdated gender roles, no drama please, one-word replies, talks smack behind their friend's back, is the victim in every story they tell, they act like they're better than everyone else, always feels the need to prove themselves, rude to parents, always on their phone, bad hygiene or does not take care of their health, struggles with keeping a job, calls himself a nice guy, needs a lot of personal space, hates cartoons, bad at communicating, cheated in the past, disrespects animals, trust issues, smokes, does drugs, bad at driving, anger issues, does not like when you are friends, refuses to try your hobbies, no motivation, dreams, or goals, won't let you use your phone, likes obscure music only, chronically online, Disney adult to raise his comments as a joke, does not ever dress up for a date, assumes familiarity very early on, love bombing, I love you very early on, calls you daddy, wants to be called daddy, tries to convert your beliefs, doesn't make time in their schedule to see you, solves disagreements with silent treatment, constant self-deprecation jokes, they don't ask questions about you, expects you to pay for everything, needs to borrow money a lot, whole personality revolves around one thing, says you don't own them until marriage, they always change the plan to better suit them, can't handle me at my worst, don't deserve me at my best, have to do everything together, treat you like their therapist, not an active listener. What if they're not an active listener because they're deaf? Active listening is not listening specifically as in using your ears. Active listening means that you are repeating the conversation as you understand back to them. So what I'm doing right now, exactly. So I just read your comment and I just said that they are not an active listener because they're deaf. And I explained to you, we were talking about active listening, and I just explained to you what an active listener meant. That is what active listening is. You are repeating the conversation back to them to show that you understand what they were saying. You're just rewording what they just said in another word, in another way. That's active listening. If they're deaf, they would just say the exact same thing. You can be deaf and use sign language and still do active listening. It's not about using your ears. Is it a red flag to open a conversation with ni hao fine shite? I don't know. If they're not Asian, if they're not Chinese, if they don't speak Mandarin, that might be racist. This tier list has to be the most valid list. Thank you. It's it's my base list. Yes, red flags is love bombing. Love bombing, if you don't know what that is that, yeah, in your own words, explain what you understand by that sort of thing. Yes, that's what active listening means. Love bombing is somebody who acts very familiar with you at the very beginning of a relationship and excessively compliments you, excessively buys you gifts with the expectation, that over time they will get you. It's a form of manipulation. Love bombing means that you are constantly asking people that when you first meet somebody and they shower you with attention and then they use it to slip in abusive comments or activities or behaviors, and then they cover it up again with more love bombing. So they use it as a way of manipulating somebody in a relationship. And because the person being love bombed doesn't recognize it at the earlier stages, because they go, this person really, really likes me, and they spend all this money on me. We went to a trip together. Maybe they flew all the way from a different country. They flew them out to a different country. They do all these nice things for them. They're so attentive. They're so always constantly, I love you, I love you, I love you. You're so amazing. You're so perfect. You're so beautiful. I love the way you do this. I love the way you do that. But it's all superficial. They don't actually like you as a person. And then when they slip and they show their more negative side, like they make little comments. I don't like the way when you wear your hair like that. I like you better without makeup. I like it when you dress like this. And they make subtle comments like that. They try to change who you are as a person rather than accepting you for who you are. So they make little comments like that here and there. And you think like, oh, maybe they're expressing something about me that they don't like as a person. So I will try to change because they don't like it. Because they like me so much, I'm willing to change for them. They try to change you as a person. That's what love bombing is inherently. It's a form of manipulation. Am I frozen again? Oh. Hold up. What? I froze. Hold up. Time stop. Dio got me. Dio got me. Alright. Let me reset and I'm gonna do my red flags. I'm gonna put all my red flags into like one place. That could be called glazing to a whole other degree. Yes, I guess in a way. Glazing is more of like a... Glazing is like... Glazing is just being overly complimentary, not really love bombing. It can be used as a form of love bombing, but it's more of a method rather than like a situation. Okay, so deal breakers. Actually, no. I don't know. How do I do this? How do I put like... These are my red flags, okay? I'm gonna put them somewhere. And then I'm gonna put, I should rename this, I guess. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna put me. My red flags. And then I guess I'll remove this row. Delete. Delete. We're gonna have 2. Delete. And then my second one is just gonna be would never. Like, I would not do that. Like, as in, I don't have that red flag. Like, I don't have that. Glazing with the intent to take advantage. Yeah. It's kind of like love bombing. Am I streaming? Oh, I am. Sorry, I thought I crashed again. Different political alignments. I don't think that applies to the situation. I don't think it matters. It depends. It depends. Invested in politics? No. I'm not invested in politics. Practice a different religion? That doesn't apply. Lives with parents. Actually, I live with my parents. Choose loudly? No. Order is the first fast food option at specialty restaurants? No. I'm willing to try new things. Picky eater? Yes. Inconsistent communication? Yes, I'm bad at communicating. Hello, welcome. Hello, person on YouTube. Welcome in. Dismissive of your feelings or opinions? No, I would not do that. Controlling? No. Lack of accountability? No. Unwilling to address or resolve conflicts? No. Passive aggressive? No. Lack of emotional availability? Maybe. Maybe. Sometimes. Excessive jealousy? No. Constantly negative? No. I am positive. Disregards boundaries? No. Doesn't have the same music taste whatsoever? It depends. I am actually open to listening to any kind of music. One-uppers? Nah. Excessively compliments? Nah. I never compliment. I never compliment people. Only compliment physical attributes? Nah. Constantly late? Yes. Cancel last minute? No. Rude to service staff? Nah. Does not have a single close friend? Nah. I have 3. Brags about how good of a liar they are? No, I don't lie. Goes to the gym every day. Nope. Never goes to the gym. Rarely. I rarely go to the gym. I go to the gym maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. Has a mental disorder? Maybe. Maybe. Neurodivergent? Maybe. Neurotypical? I don't know. I haven't been diagnosed. Who knows? Makes plans for the future without consulting their preferences? Nah. Longest relationship never lasted more than a month? Nah. Multiple exes in the same year? Nah. Never been in a relationship? I've never been in a relationship. Puts a lot of labels on themselves. I don't know what that means. Constantly brings up an ex? Nah. Lacks empathy? Nah. Male friends with only male friends, female with only female. It's true. I don't have male friends. Males with only female friends, females with only male friends. Nah. Reference to gender outdated roles? No. You can find their whole life on social media? Not true. No drama, please? Nah. Furry? Nah. Only hobbies include TV, game, video game? Not true. One word replies? Nah. I don't talk behind people's backs. I'm not the victim. They act like they're better than anyone else? No. Always feel the need to prove themselves? No. Rude to parents? No. Can't text in complete sentences? Yes. Too nonchalant to compliment anyone? I don't know. Attention sponge? No. I hate attention. I have to make all the big plans? No. They want to make all the things? Not applicable. Always on their phone? No. Into celebrity gossip? No. I can't stand celebrity gossip. Bad hygiene? No. Always wants to eat out? I never eat out. Likes going for drinks? No. Struggles with keeping a job? No. Calls himself a nice guy? No. Females who've actually referred to their friends as bitches? No. Swears a lot? Nope. Is against swearing? Yeah. I don't swear. Well, I'm not against it, but I just don't do it personally. Like spicy food? No. I dislike spicy food. Yes. I can't have spicy food. I can't eat spicy food. I like sweets. Yes. I don't dislike sweets. Fast food is their favorite genre of food? No. Does not have a degree nor working towards a degree? Not true. Has a lot of debt? Not true. Never traveled outside their hometown? Not true. Wants kids? Not true. Does not want kids? Heck yeah, not true. Needs a lot of personal space? Sometimes. Likes cartoons? Yeah. Hates cartoons? No. Talkative online but silent IRL? Yeah! Your friends do not like them? Not true. Extremely involved with parents? Sometimes. Has an addiction? No. Only texts you at night? Yeah, maybe. Not true. Bad at communicating? Yeah, sometimes. Describes us as crazy? Not true. Cheated in the past? Not true. Needs to be reassured often? Not true. Describes animals? Not true. Trust issues? Not true. Does not understand pop culture references? Very true. Parents track their location? Yeah, sometimes. My mom knows where I go. Smokes? No. Does drugs? No. Bad at driving? No. Excessive thirst for anime men or women? No. Overly quirky. Would you guys say I'm overly quirky? Am I overly quirky? I don't think so. Why do I keep freezing? Would you say I'm overly quirky? I don't think I'm quirky. Extremely indecisive? No. Has a very specific coffee order? Nope. Quotes TikToks IRL? Maybe. Maybe. Gamer? Oh no, gamer. Has a stuffed animal collection? Oh no. Yes. Friends with female with masculine hobby. Do I have a masculine hobby? No. Anger issues? No. Has one to go? No. Does not like when you are with friends? No. Says they do not care? Eh. Refuses to try your hobbies? Nope. No motivation dreams or goals? Nope. Won't let you use your phone? Nope. Likes obscure music only? Nope. Doesn't like music? Nope. Early bird? Nope. Night owl? Yes. I'm up at like 2 a.m. Chronically online? Nope. Disney adult? Nope. Racing on show? Nope. Dark humor? Nope. Nope. Does not ever dress up for a date? Nope. Tries to act cool? Yeah. I'm just a cool guy, yeah. No, no familiarity, no love bombing, no. I refuse to say that word. Frequency important holidays or anniversaries. I will put that in a calendar. Wants to call it? No. Can you imagine? I feel like none of us don't know you good enough to answer that personal question. True. I think a lot of people here have just experienced me for the first time. So welcome to your first experience here. Wild first impression, I gotta say. Believes in conspiracy theories, I'm sorry, yes. I believe in Mothman. Tries to convert your beliefs? No. Has no filter? Yes. I'll say whatever. Strongly believe in zodiac signs? No. Throws away leftovers? Nope. Goes with the flow? Yep. That's not a bad thing. Road rage? Nope. Wants to live together? Nope. Doesn't make time in the schedule? Nope. Immersion all first? Nope. Do solve disagreements with the silent trait? Nope. Constant self-deprecating jokes? Once in a while. As a treat? Maybe. I suck, guys. I'm like so bad at everything. I'm kidding. Nope. Don't ask questions? Nope. Always want to split the bill? Nope. Expect you to pay for everything? Nope. Needs to borrow money a lot? Nope. Hold personality roles around thing? I don't know. Says you don't own them? Nope. They always change the plans? Nope. Can't handle me or worse? Nope. They miss high school? Nope. Unsure about the sexuality? Nope. Constantly wants to take selfies or photos together? Nope. I don't like taking pictures. Has long nose for tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. Needs to relationship include sex? I don't like sex. Constant messy living space? Yep. My desk is a mess. They don't express any issues during the relationship? Maybe. Have to do everything together? Nope. Can't hand eye contact? Nope. Lack of social life? Yep. Not their first marriage? Nope. Treat you like their therapist? Nope. Not an active listener? Nope. Alright, here is my red flags. I live with my parents. I am a picky eater. I am bad at communicating. I'm emotionally unavailable. I never compliment you. I'm constantly late. I might have a mental disorder. I might be neurodivergent. I've never been diagnosed, but I'm pretty sure I do. Never been in a relationship. I only have female friends. I can't text in complete sentences. I don't like spicy food. I like sweets. I don't want kids. I like my space. I like cartoons. I'm talkative online, but silent IRL. Depends. If I'm with friends, I'll talk, but if I'm by myself, I'll be dead silent. Bad at communicating. That's true. A little bit. Okay, now that... I don't like confrontation. I don't like conflict. In the sense of, like, communicating, as in, like, I really dislike sitting people down and being like, hey, I don't like the way you do that. So, I'm bad at that. Does not understand pop culture references. I don't follow celebrities. Parents track my location. My mom has my GPS location. That's mostly for a safety thing, though. She doesn't care where I go. Coolest TikToks IRL? Once in a while. It's lack of social life. Yeah, I don't go out. I don't touch grass. Gamer? Yeah. Has a stuffed animal collection? Yeah. Night owl? Yep. Tries to act cool? I am cool. Believes in conspiracy theories? Yes. I believe, not in insane ones, but I believe that I think it'd be cool if it were true, that if we're living in a simulation. I think things are a little bit too coincidental. Maybe we live in a simulation. Maybe we're not real. Who knows? I think it's cool to think about. Has no filter. I'll say whatever's on my mind. Like right now, I don't think. I just say, goes with the flow. I'm chill. I don't care. Constant self-deprecating jokes, maybe, once in a while. Constant messy living space. Have you seen my desk? My desk is messy. Oh, okay, well, not messy, but I know where everything is, and everything's kind of in a certain place where it's meant to be. That makes sense only to me. So yeah, there's my red flags. Would I go out with a guy with the same types of red flags as me? No. No. That's why I say, even if your parents don't care about this stuff, does it feel weird having someone tracking you? I don't really care. My friends have my location. I think it's more of a safety issue. If I don't respond one day and my friends want to know where I am, I don't mind. If it was a stranger though, like if I was in a relationship and my friend or somebody I met for the first time was like, I want to know where you are at all times, that would be sus to me. But if it's somebody that I know for a really long time, like my parents, I don't care. It's a safety issue. But yes, I would not live with I wouldn't be with somebody who has this... I wouldn't date myself, to be honest. I wouldn't date myself. I know myself very well. And that's why I always tell people, like, I would not be in a relationship. I don't think I should be. I don't think I should be. I am a red flag. I am the red flag here. I don't think people should be. True. Yes, I am the red flag. And that's just not something that I would, that I'm not into right now. But there we go. Okay, chill. I'm gonna die alone, okay? That's why I say self-deprecating humor. I'm gonna die alone. I'm gonna die alone. I'm gonna die. It's true. One of these days, I'm gonna look back at my 1,000-year-old self. I'm gonna be 2,000, and I'm gonna be like, damn. Still haven't gone with somebody. I'm gonna die. I'm kidding. Not my priority. Anyways, let's close this out. Where is it? Where's OBS? OBS. Here we go. Gonna stay lonely, gamer. Yep, I'm lonely. I don't care. I'll get a cat. As long as I have a pet, you know what? It's fine. I won't be alone. I'm not in a person way, you know? I'll just have a cat. I'll be like that crazy cat lady. But I'll only have one cat. No. I have so many red flags. And I don't know if I would change. You're gonna find someone with your ready? Not at the way that I'm going. I don't go outside. I don't touch grass. I have no social life. Maybe I'm ready right now? No. I want to get a cat. I don't touch grass, guys. I don't go outside. On my weekends, you know what I do? I stay home. I don't go outside. I stay home. I used to have a duck. Ooh, a duck? That's so cute. I love ducks. Like, what kind of duck? A Quaker duck? I've heard those things are so cute. The little round ones. Aww. Or just like a normal duck. There's like a specific type of duck that just looks like the cutest little stuffed animal duck in the world. It's so cute. I think they're called Quaker ducks. They're like a smaller breed. I sold that duck to a farmer because my neighbor filed a noise complaint. No, but ducks are kind of quiet. Actually, if you want an animal that's quiet, get... Ooh, Indian runner ducks. I heard those things have a lot of personality. If you want a bird that's quiet as a pet, get a quail. Although they're notorious for kind of like dying like hamsters. Quails are notorious for dying like hamsters. Maybe you don't get a quail if you're attached. They'll die like a hamster. They're not very smart. But anyways, it is 2:32. I am going to go to bed. They do, exactly. They're really sad. But yes, thank you all. I love quails. They're so cute. There's one TikTok I follow, this guy who only has button quails for pets because they're so small, but man, are they useless. They're useless. You can't do anything with button quails. They're so tiny, they don't lay eggs. Or even if they do, you can't even eat them because they're so small. You just have them for pets. If you want a pom-pom as a pet, get a button quail. They're so tiny and cute. I want pet earthworms. Good news! You can do it right now. Go outside, lift a rock. There you go, pet worm. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed and name them like Fortnite skins. Oh my god. Play itch.io with them. Just like put them on a table together and see if they'll just like crawl around in circles like Slither.io. Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. It's 2:33 a.m. I need to go to sleep. I have a job. Let me see here. I thought I was a night owl. I am. This is night owl for me. This is late. 2 a.m. I have to wake up. Hi. Thank you for the follow. I have to wake up at 7 a.m. I just got 4 hours of sleep last night. I went to bed last night at 5 a.m. and I woke up at 7. I am running on 2 hours of sleep, guys. I need to go to bed. Anyways, good night everybody. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you liked my tier list ranking stream. And maybe tomorrow I will have something cool planned, or Saturday or Friday. I am planning something. Bye bye Rizzler, heck yeah, wink. Yes, I have something very exciting planned. Not really exciting, but just different. Let me click end stream. Good night everybody, thank you for stopping by. Have a good night, take care of yourself. If it's morning for you, have a good rest of your day. If it's nighttime for you, go to bed. Yes, bye-bye, bye-bye. Everyone take care of yourself. Stay safe. Have fun. I don't know. Do whatever you gotta do. Go to the bathroom. Go piss, girly. I don't know. I'm gonna go pee. Yeah, exactly. Go piss, girl. Go piss, girl. Alright. It'd be so cozy. What? That's crazy. What? Don't pee in the shower. Go to like the actual toilet. Don't. That's odd. Points finger freak.